I have started the recording now.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. Today we are here to present a PPT on our final year project, which is spam filtering based on machine learning approach using Python. Today, Srijit Ghatok, Shreya Pal, Camelia Mahato, and myself, Chandrabali Vishnu, will give this presentation. And now I will ask my friend Srijit to continue with the presentation.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. Hope you are doing well. So today we are going to look how we are going to how we can detect spam and we can eliminate this. For that, our presentation flow will be started with the introduction, like what is spam, followed by a bit of theory, and then we are going to see how this particular project works and how does it performs in eliminating spam and detecting ham messages and separating them both, and then we are going to see which of the model works best and which of the model is actually suitable for this particular presentation or for this particular method. So what is spam? So we know that spam is also defined as UCE, unsolicited commercial emails. So these are basically the emails which actually comes in bulk in our email messages, in our email box, which simply defines or which has a simple aim of just simply advertisement and of fraudulent nature. Like suppose every day we open our mail and we can see a bulk of messages, and for your information and for our information, we have already found out that it is almost 88% from 2007 that of the total emails, almost 88% of the mails are spam messages. So this is a big problem for all of us. So the actually this project deals with that factor only. This project tries to eliminate the spam messages, and it tries to separate between to create a separated line between these two messages and find and eliminate spam messages. So basically, from older times, like from 1970s, 1980s, we are trying to approach it generously. Like we are trying to decrease the cost in just elimination of these messages. Like we know almost 130 billion dollars worldwide is being spent just to eliminate spam messages. So this spam messages hampers with our daily activities. It also takes away a lot of resources. It takes away, it can be of fraudulent nature. This can pose a serious threats like security threats like economical threats to us. Like we don't know, like we users do not know, we common users do not know like which one is a spam message and which one is a ham message. And by even mistakenly, if we even click a wrong message, we can get into a grave danger without knowing. So we can say it's a grave alarming thing, and that's why our project tries to we aim to eliminate this
Sorry.
kind of messages. So the next slide will be continued by my friend Shreya Pal, where she shall be trying to explain how this project works, that is the working of the project along with the methodologies. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let me tell about some of the spam filtering methods that are being used. I'll give a brief overview. Like there is the head filter, which look at the header of an email to see whether it's a spam message or not. Then we have the language filter, which looks at the text of the spam and tries to detect it based on the language. Then we have content filter, which scans the entire text of the email and through which we know whether it's a spam message or not. Next slide. Then we have permission filter, which is based on a challenge response system in which the spam tries to challenge the central computer into which it wants to enter. Then we have the whitelist, blacklist filters, in which certain emails are labeled as whitelist emails and certain are labeled as blacklist emails. The whitelist ones are considered good, while the blacklist ones are considered bad email addresses. Then we have community filters, in which a central computer directs every other computer attached to it that certain emails are good while certain are not. And then finally we have the Bayesian filter, which we have used in our own model, which filters based on probabilities. Next slide. So I will give a brief overview of the workflow. We have used Python programming and Python libraries such as NumPy, Pandas, and Seaborn. Here you can see a flowchart of the way in which our model is working. Next slide. So what we did is we took a data set and we cleaned it, and then we have when we had two data sets, one is the training data set and another is the test data set. With the training data set, we trained our machine learning model. With the training data set, we also took all the words and divided it into spam and ham based on the features of the words. Our features are the length of the word and the text which we have used. And after this, we trained our machine learning model on Knight's algorithm, which is based on Bayes' theorem, in which we try to find the probability of a spam word occurring based on the words which are already labeled as spam. So using this, we find the probabilities of spam word occurring and also ham word occurring, and based on this, we try to label an email as a spam or a ham word. If the probability of a spam word occurring exceeds a certain threshold, then we can say that the email is spam, otherwise it's ham. Next slide, please. So based on this training data set and with the machine learning model, we can create a rough set classifier. And if we test our model, then we can see that it can detect between spam and ham messages. Thank you. Now the presentation will be carried forward by Chandra Goli.
Thank you, Shreya. In this slide, I will explain about the EDA on dataset.
Again, hello. Again, for the recording purpose, we need to again question and start the question and answering session. Means you threshold. You need to answer about what is the value of the threshold. How have you set the value threshold value?
Yes, sir. Here we have Shreya will tell the answer.
Yes, we have set it to 95% based on the frequency of a spam word occurring, and also on the words which we have chosen as spam and ham.
Means setting 95%, you are getting 98% accuracy or 100%
Yes,
accuracy.
98%, approximately 98% accuracy.
Why that 2% still now left? Why
Sir,
the 2% error?
Sir, it's based on the training of the model. So
Sir,
it also
if
depends
we
on
want to
the
get that 2% accuracy, there is a chance that the model may detect some of the ham messages as spam, which is
test.
not something very desirable, because the important message can go into spam list. So we are trying to see the fact that every ham message is kept intact, and it will never be enlisted as a spam message, but we are trying to take out all the spam, trying to take out most of the spam messages, or that is detect most of the spam messages, but keeping
Because
the
it will
ham
be
messages intact, because we don't want to lose any important messages. So
because it will
that's
be
why
really
there
very
is.
problematic. Like suppose if there is an important message, and suppose in between spam and ham, like we can keep one and two spam, okay, but the problem is that out of 100 messages, if we keep two spam messages, that will not be a problem. But out of hundreds messages, if we just lose any two of our useful messages, that can be a serious problem, because useful messages, and even like suppose if our machine is at 100%, then what will happen? It will detect all
Okay,
messages as spam
hello.
message.
I understand this one, but in your evaluation portion,
Hmm.
have you seen any false positive, true positive? This
So we
all
will come to that. It is
have you?
Yes, sir. We have seen that we have tried to set the precision value to the most. That is, we are viewing so that the precision is high, so that there are less false positive.
Recall precision recall.
We have also seen the recall. Actually, we use the F beta score, where it takes into consideration both the precision and recall value. So that we
Have you seen? Have you
yes,
seen?
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, carry on, continue.
So here in this slide, we will see about the EDA on dataset. So what is an EDA? EDA is an exploratory data analysis. It is a way of visualizing summarizing and interpreting information that is hidden in the rows and column format. EDA is one of the crucial steps in data science that allows us to achieve certain heights and statistical measures that is essential for the business continuity. It performs to define our important feature variable selection that will be used in our model. That is, once the EDA is complete and insights are drawn, its feature can be used for supervised and unsupervised machine learning modeling. The EDA
Is there
execution. Yes, sir.
do you know what is the difference between supervised and unsupervised algorithm?
Yes, sir. The ones in which, like here, we have the data set is divided into spam and ham. So it is a supervised one. But in the non-supervised one, there is no classification. We have to first classify the messages as spam and ham, and then we have to continue. So this is our data set is a supervised one, and here as EDA is executed majorly by three types of visualization, that is univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. Here we are using bivariate visualization as we have two features. First one is the keywords that are present in the spam messages, and the second feature is the message length, which we will see, and we will divide our dataset in such a way so that we can select message length as a feature as well. So here we will see in the latter case that we use two factors, so it is a bivariate visualization. We initially make several hypotheses by looking at the data before we hit the modeling, and the EDA helps us in confirming and validating the hypothesis we make. And from here we start our feature engineering part. So here we track down the words collected from the emails, and finally we find that a lot of messages are actually not spam, that is, their normal messages. And here the ratio is 86.6%, it is ham messages, it is normal, and 13.4 it is spam. So while we are speaking, we have to take good care, and so that in the train and test data, the train and test in the there are equal amount of spam and ham messages, and we use cross validation, and we have to use stratified sampling so that there is the training and test models won't get skewed towards the normal message, or otherwise it will only it will detect all the ham messages as spam. But we can explain here. I will explain what is cross validation. Cross validation is a resampling procedure used to evaluate machine learning models on a limited data sample. And stratified sampling aims to splitting a data set so that each split is similar with respect to something. Here it is that the ratio of spam and ham messages should be equal in both test and train. Next slide, please.
Yes.
A very basic model here would have been that we predict everything as a ham, but it won't be of the good accuracy. So here we will have to keep in mind, as I said, that we miss a spam message, that if we don't detect the spam message as spam, it won't be that much a problem. But if a ham message, important message is detected as spam, then it will be a great problem. So precision here is very important, and here we have used the F-beta score as our accuracy metric with inclination towards precision. Next slide. Now we will see our feature selection. We find whether a word is spam or ham by checking some of the common features we found in our dataset. First, we studied the individual words and cleaned the dataset. Then we find the top ham words and spam words, which serve as the first feature for our model. Next slide. Then we plot the spam and ham messages depending on the word length distribution. For this, we used the Seaborn library function, and we got the plot. And here we see that the size length, spam and ham messages depended on size length to some extent. So this served as the second feature for our model. And thirdly, the text transformation, which is a very important part, that is, we have to clean our data by removing the punctuation and stemming words so that it is ready to be fed into the model, and we will get our accuracy and the F-beta score of each model that we are using, and we can select a suitable model for spam detection. So next slide will be explained by Camelia and she will tell us about the different models that has been used here.
Okay, Camelia, carry on.
Thank you, Chandrabali, for handing me over the presentation. And now I will be explaining how we splitted the data sets. So separating data into training and testing set is an important part of data mining models where the maximum portion is used for training the data set and the smaller portion is used for testing the data set. Now you will ask, why do we train data and why don't we take the previous data set and work on it? So we have a reason for that. Now training data is used to make sure the machine recognizes the pattern, and the test data is used to see how well the machine predicts new answers based on its previous training. So this is how we have splitted the data set. We have taken 80:20 ratio. Now there may be questions arising that why we have taken 80:20 ratio and why not we have taken 70:30 ratio or 60:40 ratio. Now we have taken 80:20 ratio and there are two competing concerns. Starting from one, we have with if we take less training data, our parameter estimates will have greater frequency, and if we take less testing data, then our performance statistics will have higher variance, will have greater variance. Now we should be concerned in splitting the data set as such that neither of the variants will have greater variance will have greater neither the variance will be high. So 80:20 ratio is a very good starting and it is therefore a fair point. Hence, we have taken it. Now, in machine learning, there are basically 7 important steps which we focus on doing any project. So, starting from data collection to data preparation to choosing a model to train a model to evaluate a model to parameter tuning and at last making of predictions. So starting from data collections where we have collected a Kaggle data, then we have done data preparation on that. How did we do data preparation on the
Okay,
data set? We
okay.
have
One
done
thing
data.
you have prepared a report though.
Yes, sir. We
Report.
have. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, okay. You send that file, PPT, and recording all the things. Okay,
Okay, sir. No problem.
okay, carry on.
Okay, carrying on. Then we have done data preparation. How we have done data preparation? We have done it by cleansing the data or data cleaning, which is very important in machine learning. Next, we have chosen a model. So in our project, spam filtering, we have chosen knife-based model as a best performing model because knife-based performs very well when it comes to documentation classification or documentation filtration. So it is a very popular method for that. So in our project, we have taken knife-based model. Next, we have done training on the model. As I have discussed earlier, why do we do training on the model? We train the machine to recognize the patterns in the data and later testing the machine whether it can predict better results. Then we have done evaluation on the model, testing the model against previously unseen data, combination of metrics and what so on. Next, we have done parameter tuning, tuning of parameters for improved performance, and at last making predictions to see how well our project works in the real-time environment. So in applying the model, you can see that we have applied two popular models. One is the linear classifier model, that is a knife-based model. We also have another linear classifier model that is a logistic regressions. But in our project, we have taken knife-based because it wins a race when it comes to accuracy. And then with other models, we have support vector models, we have random forest model, we have decision tree, we have neural networks and boosted trees. Many other models are there, but we have chosen decision tree because in machine learning, knife-based model and decision tree model is the most popular model used. And knife-based, as I have discussed earlier, it wins a race when it comes to accuracy, and it is used when we have to work on document classification. So since our project is on spam filtering, it is obviously on document classification. So I will be briefing about a decision tree and then knife-based classifier as well. Decision tree model is used in operation research. It is used in machine learning. It is used in planning, strategic planning. and the decision trees are very intuitive. It is based on how one feels, and it is very easy to implement. Decision trees fall short when it comes to accuracy. Next, I will explain on a knife-based model. So as I have discussed earlier, there are two types of linear classifier models. One, we have logistic regressions, and another is a knife-based model. So in knife-based model, it is based on Bayes theorem, the famous Bayes theorem,
No,
and it
all the things have you means you comparative and done any comparative analysis?
so we have done comparative analysis on knife base and decision tree. We have picked up one linear classifier models, and then we have taken a decision tree classifier.
SVM, have you not taken SVM? You told na SVM.
No, sir, I was giving you an example. The types of application algorithms are
Okay,
present in machine
that's
learning.
okay. That you have used. You say only about that
Yes,
one.
sir, we have used, but these two model gave the best results. So we have finally
No,
settled on this and
at
worked
that
on it.
other system result have you not here put?
No, sir,
No,
because
sir, because
accuracy
knife
quite
base and decision trees. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
because knife base is giving a good result, so we have taken it only.
The reason of the good result, do you know?
so
Why
because
Yeah,
nine?
if
because it's testing and training result. Its training result is 97.68%, and its
No,
testing
no.
result for spam detection is
Okay, okay.
96.9%. Okay. Okay, so carrying on with the presentation, where I left it, yeah, knife-based model. So as we know, it is a very eager learning classifier, and it wins the race when it comes to accuracy. So giving an accuracy of spam detection of about 97.68% for training test model and 96.59% for test testing model. And in case of decision tree, we have an accuracy for about 92.82% for training and 91.3% for testing. So on comparing both the models, we see that nine base gives us a better approximations and gives us a more accurate results. And we carry on with the conclusion, and Chandrabuli will be carrying on with the conclusion.
thank you, Camelia.
Yes.
As we have known that this spam, the upsurge in the volume of unwanted emails called spam, has created an intense need for the development of more dependable and robust anti-spam filters. In recent times, unwanted commercial bulk emails called spam has become a huge problem on the internet. Spam prevents the user from making full and good use of time, storage capacity, network bandwidth, and huge volume of spam mails flowing through the computer network have destructive effects on the memory space of email server, communication bandwidth, CPU power, and user time. So machine learning algorithms have been extensively applied in the field of spam filtering. Substantial work
Okay.
have been done. Yes,
Have
sir.
you done any other area? Explore any other area? Have you explored means other good area regarding this means
So we have worked on
spam?
several models, but as we say that
No,
the
no,
aim
no. Means that you are doing any spam detection. Other any areas have you seen? Means have you looked that one any this area exploring area or in the recent time in future? These are the main
there
focus
is
area for the
yes, there is a
recording
scope
purpose.
that we can manually give input to this model and get the output as spam or ham. But the thing is, here the model have been trained in such a way that it needs 1115 amounts of inputs manually, which is not very uh, what to say, it's not very useful because as of now, because one cannot sit and give 1115 inputs manually to the system. So we can train this model in such a way so that it can take a less amount of input and give us our result, so that if we give a input, that is one text message, it will give us the output as it is a spam or ham. It is possible as of now, but it is requiring a large amount of manual input because the model have been tested in that way. So we have seen it, we have tried it, and we have found out this problem, that it has to be trained one more time in a more uh, personalized way so that we can get a output instantly. That if we give an input to the model, it will give us the output then and there, whether it's a spam or a ham message. So it is a future scope of our project. And as we say that in this case naive Bayes theorem is the most important, because we took the f beta score of all the models, and that's why we didn't use the other ones, because the f beta score was not that good. In the naive Bayes we can see that the f beta score is really good, and the precision was
Acha,
1.
tell me which portion has done Srijit, which portion has done Camellia, or which Seta, which means if you say that which portion and who has done,
Sir, I have
read
done
that one.
manually that data splitting part, that is detecting first we have to check manually, you just said, so I just did that particular stuff like detecting who are ham and who are spam. But sir, I think that
Next,
Shreya is not online, I guess.
Yes, 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 yes,
do
yes,
you
I'm
know?
online.
I have seen that she has left. So do you know what she has done?
Yes, sir. She was with me only, and Chandramuli, what she has done?
Data
She
cleaning.
has done on
Yes,
data
yes,
cleaning.
yes,
Data
data
cleaning.
cleaning. That is
Data
deleting all.
cleaning,
Cleaning.
yes.
Mhm.
We did
Okay,
the
and
data
you,
cleaning one.
Chandravalli, and you?
So I
I
did
have
the
done on
EDA parts, and I did one model, and Camellia did the second one. Actually, every one of us did one model each. After all this data cleaning and
Acha,
EDA splitting, we did
so
one model
where
each, and then
Srijit, where have you placed? Where have you placed on Camellia has been placed to CTS, no, most probably.
sir. Yes, sir.
Chandravali TCS and
I got IBM last. I'll be joining IBM.
IBM. Acha, then others too. Your Srijit IBM.
Sir, no, 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 sir. I just want to do masters. That's why. This
Oh,
time my
master.
GATE
Very good.
results were not well, but next time I am targeting for a better result. That's why I'll give 1 year drop and I'll do
Oh,
masters.
okay, very good. Are yeah.
Shreya, I guess Shreya is going.
I think I will go for GATE next year, or maybe CAT.
Yeah, go
I
next.
think Shreya is
Cat.
also going for GATE. I don't know for
Yes.
that. Mhm.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
Sir, sir, you are well, though.
Have everyone. Yeah, I am. Okay, thank you. Tali recording, this
Yes.
recording, all the things you will send me. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
This recording, that report
Thank
and everything. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
sir.
Thank
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 you.
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 Thank you, sir.